Well, hello, Kevin here. Another edition of the drive-in. If you're like me, and if you are, I apologize. Sometimes people just drive you crazy. The irony is, I've been thinking about what I wanted to talk about, and there's been a couple of things on my mind and heart, and then I'm just barely on the road, and this lady pulls right out in front of me. I mean, absolutely right out in front of me. And of course, I did the motorist glare as I drove by, and she wasn't looking. And then I go from like, really, what's the deal, to really, what's the deal? I mean, I didn't slam my brakes on it or anything like that. But I just feel like that, and I'm guilty of this, that we live in a society where we just don't cut each other much slack. And I'm not talking about committing crimes. I'm just talking about people with crappy attitudes, which is also us. Just always aggravated about something, never willing to just put up with anything or anybody. And it reminded me of the verse in Colossians. It's Colossians 3:13, and it says basically, this is kind of a charge to us: put up with others and forgive others when they do you wrong. Here's the kicker: like Christ forgave you. Put up with others. I don't know that I can expect somebody to put up with me and my baggage and my stuff if I'm not willing to put up with somebody else. I think it's too often we let things get to us that at the core of it just don't really matter. And again, I'm not talking about grievous things. I'm not talking about crimes. I'm not talking about violation of body. I'm just talking about daily stuff that people just don't get over. But then the verse also goes on that, to forgive others when they do you wrong. I don't want to keep a list. I don't have enough time or gray matter to keep a list of every time I might have been wronged. Holy cow. I mean, I imagine if you're like me, you get wronged. You get wronged maybe by people at work, or your bosses, or people on the street, or strangers, or family members, or close friends. One of the shows that I really enjoy, I don't even want to call it a guilty pleasure, because I will boldly say I love Survivor. I think we've only missed a season or two since it began. But recently we were watching a season that was a couple of seasons over, and there was probably one of the nastiest exchanges between two of the cast, not cast members, but two of the contestants that I've ever seen. And I realized that the focus of the show is to, you take 20-something folks who don't know each other, a lot of them don't have anything in common, you throw them onto this island, they got to fend for themselves and win a game, and fatigue sets in, and hunger sets in, and sadly, our real selves come out sometimes in those situations. But it was ugly, ugly, ugly. And so they do this reunion show. It's after they've announced the winner. And so Jeff Probst asks one of the guy if he's willing to ask for forgiveness of this other person. And the guy makes a comment that says, yeah, I'm willing to ask for forgiveness, but the other person has to be willing to receive it. And I thought, no, that's not right. That's not right. My forgiveness of you or somebody if they've done me wrong is not based on whether you accept it or you're willing to entertain it. You may throw it back in my face. My forgiveness is based on my heart and my attitude that I need to forgive whatever has occurred to me. And if I can only forgive based on your reaction back, or if you're, as this guy said, willing to accept it, then we get nowhere. Then you go back to the beginning of it. Just put up with other people. So here's my thought and my challenge. What if, day by day, we tried to put up with other people? That we realize people have bad days, people have bad moods, and your bad mood shouldn't indicate my bad mood. I'm not good at that, but what if we chose, it's a choice, to put up with other people, to realize that we're all damaged goods, and you know what? I choose to forgive because Christ forgave me. And the real kicker is that I can't accept Christ's forgiveness if I'm not willing to forgive. I just can't. And if he can forgive me for all the multitude of sins and mistakes and things I've done, what option do I really have? I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I do think it's a better way to live. I'm Kevin. That's my thoughts on the drive-in. Peace out.